Hey, hi. Good day, everybody. Simon and Mircha. You can see my screen, right? Hello.
Hello.
Just wondering.
So before we get started, there was one item I noticed. My colleague Hide made a comment in the outreach channel. Uh,
Mhm.
let me just copy paste the text in the chat. So basically, he's asking time to discuss an issue. Well, not an issue, a topic. And he addressed the question to a lad, but who previously led that group, but of course he doesn't anymore. Um,
Mhm.
So there it is in the chat. I was kind of hoping Paul might be here and that he might handle this somehow. But my main question is will we handle this in the outreach forum or will we handle it here in the TSC? Uh, but
Oh,
Paul's not here, so we should sync with him somehow.
correct. Uh, so Paul said he cannot make today, right? I think last week he said he will not be able to make it today.
Okay. No problem. I'll contact Hide. He's also a Red Hat person and let him know
Yeah.
that there's a delay. Um,
So they here. I think the request is we invite them to join this one of our calls.
Yes, definitely. I guess the question is just which one. This was in the outreach channel, so I guess he was looking at the outreach.
No, I think we can invite them to TSC itself if the members are okay.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, let me respond in the channel then, and
Okay.
I'll make sure Paul is in the response so he can. I'll ask Paul what he thinks about that idea in the chat,
Okay.
so
Sure.
everyone can.
Hey, hi, Miles.
Hey, good day.
Okay, it's 5 minutes past now, so let's get started. We do not have quorum. Okay, so the lab, I think, Mircha, I think you're stuck with one issue, right, regarding the copying this thing. And all, so we have a VCC to procure certain items quickly. So it's just an update from my side on the lab. We don't have to go through the invoice process kind of. Hey, hi, Asig. Okay. So this one we do not. I think recordings are out. Recordings are in YouTube now. So for just for the record, I will also mention put this point on whatever you have put in the chat. And I don't know, right? uh, joining, presenting, would like to discuss. Okay. The one more thing I had from my end was on uh, OAI. So just to give a background for this thing. So before I respond to them, I just want to check with the TSC on this particular part. So if you're familiar, open air interface, right? I'm not sure about their status, if they're a for-profit or a not-for-profit organization. I think my understanding was it was a not-for-profit. Uh, so I had met them in Sweden a few months back on the ORAN workshop. I had informed them that we can collaborate with OPI can collaborate with OAI, and they can engage with us and showcase some of their use cases on offloading telco workloads similar to the ones uh, that the entity had demonstrated at our OPI summit. Right. So similar to that, we wanted to, I wanted to propose them that they can also collaborate with OPI and showcase their activity or work on the research activity. So I think Raymond Knopp, the researcher professor from there, so he was interested. So they came back to me yesterday and said, "Hey, can we explore the potential collaboration kind of a thing?" Um, because they're a not-for-profit, we can ask them to join us as an associate member, and then things will make it easier for us to provide the access to the lab if they want to work on as a research project with us. That should be okay with the TSC, right?
I believe so, but I don't know what our rules are around that. I mean, it sounds like that was a particular rule in the past.
So they have to be our member thing. So one of the potential membership is the associate member for a not-for-profit organizations or a government organizations kind of thing. So if they are not for profit, then they can join us as an associate member.
And
Okay, I
associate
see.
member is a zero fee option.
Yes, yes, it's a zero fee option. Associate members are zero fee.
Okay.
Any academia and not for profit organization and research organizations can take advantage of that zero fee.
That sounds good to me.
So we don't have to take up for routing anything unless there is a exact ask from them to use the lab or to work in our lab. Until then, we can I can now reply to them. Yes, we can consider you. Please join our one of the TSC calls and propose what is that you would like to do or explore with OPI. Accordingly, then we can consider the next steps.
Yes, I think it would be best for them to present to the TSC, and I think we should notify all the TSC members beforehand so they can do their best
Yeah.
to attend.
I agree with you there.
I think they are academia because Raymond Knopp is a professor there. So yeah. Okay. There is nothing much on this one. So this is the one other thing. So I think Mircha has also added. I'll just share this slide. So thanks, Mircha, for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's just that we were there and trying to discuss, explore the potential membership for OPI, right? That was the OPI outreach initiative on that. So I just put some points from my side, and Mircha also has added, and Swati said she will also do it, but maybe she couldn't do it in time. I will just walk through this slide, and I will add the link to this slide so that others can take a look at it if they are interested. So, Mircha, I'll just take a minute and walk through it. Then, if you can share your points, kind of. So first thing that we in all our OCP was talking about the scaling, right? Whether the presentation or in the booths, all these three types of scaling were like a lot of demonstration or presentation and POCs around these three things: scale up, scale out, and scale across things. And invariably in all the hardware vendors who are coming up with the servers with the DPU they had within it, along with a bunch of 8 to 10 GPUs. The use case for the DPUs in those kind of surveys means the servers are mostly for the scale out scenarios. Right. In everybody, there was like as if like a person is doing it and everybody is using it kind of a thing. Whether it was AMD's GPUs and DPU combination, or whether it was NVIDIA's DPU or it's Intel the GPUs and GPU configurations. Everybody, like whenever I ask them what is the DPU IPU use cases, they all mention it's scale out scenarios kind of. So maybe I don't know whether we want to do anything around have a blueprint around this one. We can see that thing. And the power in the DPUs and IPUs kind of a thing. So when we talk to some of these booths, how they are using it and why they are not running some certain workloads on some of the DPUs and IPUs. In fact, because many of the 2 to 3 booths, they mentioned that they are just using it as a NIC, right? They're not running any workloads. Their main reason that they said was these tend to consume around 70 watts thing. And they're not seeing a strong reason from their end users to run a workloads on these DPUs and IPUs. If at all they do, they mostly around whatever the use cases that we had showcased, whether it was an IPsec or a load balancing kind of a thing, maybe they are there. But other than that, they just use it as a NIC kind of a thing. Turn it off the other parts kind of because of their main concern on the 70 watts. But there is a counter argument also to that. We can showcase that by offloading certain workloads, they can indeed save certain power. Maybe if we have a blueprint which showcases this power aspect, I think it would be interesting to quite a few. Specifically, those numbers, if we can showcase how much power we can save by offloading certain things, then maybe that would be a very interesting for the community also. Ethernet for scale up, as you are also familiar, like apart from this UA-Link and NVLink, Ethernet for scale up networking has been a hot topic in OCP, right? And they also announced that ESUN initiative thing. Everybody joined the ESUN initiative, and some companies already have those products around Tomahawk or Spectrum X platforms. Does DPU and IPU have a role in this? It's an open point whether we would really be playing a role in this particular thing. And other things that I came across are these three topics, and they're very minimal relevance for DPUs and IPUs or OPI. Other than that, we just engaged with one company who are working on the post-quantum security. They were thinking, their suggestion is we can explore the potential usage in this PQS for random number generation or quantum number generation that they were mentioning to do that. But it was just like a throwing out the ideas kind of thing, not really a serious proposal. So, Mircha, you would like to just walk through us this point?
Yes, second. So again, I feel like half of the time everybody was talking about AI, if not all the time. So a lot of use cases that requires tracking, distribution of traffic. So I would say many use cases involving AI where a smart NIC could be used. The other topic was in regards to the value. It's mostly like data center guys, the big guys can afford to hire a team and they do kind of their own. And maybe it's harder for them to adopt OPI unless, we get like Google, Meta, Amazon, I don't know, Microsoft to join OPI and make a common solution. But otherwise, they kind of develop everything in-house. But for enterprise customers and so on, it's maybe where OPI could bring value because they will not have those big teams to develop in-house solutions. There are discussions about, again, leveraging Psi or Sonic or anything of that sort. I saw a presentation on Secure ZTP being open sourced. I believe it's mainly the client. And also there are talks regarding UEC that they handle both switch and NIC. And for the NIC part, what came to interest is that they will contribute to SAI in order to configure their portion. And also for management, it seems they are going kind of Redfish way, and they are seeing if they need to add anything to the existing Redfish tree. And I didn't put it here on notes, but the most strange use case to me that I saw out of it was a presentation about bringing SmartNICs into cars. Kind of, I wouldn't have thought about it, but somebody presented during OPI Summit about use of SmartNICs in cars.
Panasonic, yeah. So we do support Redfish in our in OPI, right? I think there is a code already code base to support. I think we also submitted a change. I think Artec or somebody submitted a change in the registry. In the registry, I think, right? DMTF registry for the DPU IPUs, I think, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. But still, this is not sufficient for the fleet management as a solution, because a lot of like enterprises, right, they needed a fleet management as a solution. In OPI, maybe if we can come up with something for that, we will be helping quite a few enterprises.
Yeah, I think the question is how the direction we've been taking so far can fit into existing fleet management, and also, we could do some gap analysis there.
Yeah. So existing as in commercial or open sources? Because open sources, there are very, very few and far actually.
Well, either way, I mean, I'm just assuming if you have an enterprise or whatever, and you have a fleet of servers, they must have some management system, right? So whatever that is, does that fit in with the direction we've been going so far with OPI? Or is it completely orthogonal? Do we have to come up with something? I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a little bit nervous about us creating a fleet management system when others already exist.
No, some infrastructure for fleet management, some kind of a library or something like that, which can help in fleet management.
Sure, yeah.
Treat, are you thinking of something that plugs into existing fleet management software stacks?
Yeah, maybe an agent or a client that can sit in these DPUs that can work with these fleet management solutions.
Yeah, I think that's probably an important take, since there's so many kind of like non-convergent fleet management solutions out there, depending on how it's connecting, let's say, to a CSP or to some private orchestrator.
I think Asim was mentioning, bringing up this topic, we should come up with the orchestrator part of that.
Hi, yes, Sridhar. I've actually requested earlier as well that Sonic has also built like their open source orchestrator. So OPI can maybe also explore having their own orchestrator.
Can you point to that if you have the link quickly, the Sonic orchestrator?
Yeah, all right. I'll share.
Is it from the Pantheon that they propose? Is it the same that you're referring to?
I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
I'll share the link.
Thanks. Okay, then let's come back to this. Anything? Anybody else? Anything else? So, we need to act quickly because we are already in November. November is starting. By January we should have a strategy around uh, the blueprints and the APIs development thing. So as I mentioned in the last week, we have a budget. We need a strategy to start consuming from 1st of January itself, preferably.
So I guess with the blueprints, we can kind of solicit ideas for them. I saw in the slides just now that AI scale out is one. We can discuss that. It's definitely a very interesting topic. And I think another part of the milestones is pushing code based around the APIs and the demos into our repos. I am pretty sure that this is on Balaz's roadmap for the next few months. And actually, I speak to my manager in the next hour, and I will be trying to push forwards on that. But I guess the general feeling from Red Hat is that we're definitely committed to this, but we really want others to step up too. We don't want to carry the whole load.
Okay. Makes sense. So how do we want to do that? Do we want to open up a page or something and call for proposals or ideas for the blueprints? Or we just open a page and start writing whatever we have now and invite people to contribute to this thing and say that, hey, TSC will start considering realizing these blueprints when there is more inputs and ideas that are there.
Yeah,
How do
definitely.
we solicit inputs?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we definitely should have a way, and I think seeding it with some ideas is a good. Um, well, I don't know. Have we done this in the past?
Yeah,
Um,
for other projects, we have done this thing. For example, as I was mentioning, right? If you're taking the academia approach or the SI approach or the member approach, depending on that, we can either call for proposals or kind of a thing with the academia or with the vendors or with even with among the members itself. We kind of create we create a template and people can use the template to submit the blueprints kind of.
okay, but I guess in my mind it's a little bit chicken and egg because the approach you want to take it sort of depends on the nature of the blueprint, right?
Correct. So let
Uh,
me check with you internally in what are the options that we have, and maybe to, next week I will come up with the proposed mechanisms thing. Then
yeah,
TSC can consider which one to take up.
but yeah, and I guess in my mind if we had say two, with somewhere between 1 and 3, we were trying to achieve in the next 1 to 2 quarters, seems about right to
Right.
me.
Yeah. See, we can also categorize the ones that we'll be getting from our potential collaborations. For example, Ion or these people might be bringing one, or OAI might want to bring one. So with these kind of collaborations that are coming by itself, and the ones that be self-initiated from OPI to do it end-to-end kind of. So we can bucketize like that and realize certain blueprints.
Yes, yes, and I guess I think about the AI one. I'm not really sure we can do a meaningful AI scale out one in our lab. These it kind of
Yeah,
implies a rather powerful set of equipment, which is well beyond what we have in our lab, nor or will ever have in the lab.
yeah, very much agree.
Mm.
Yeah, for scale out, normally that's, rack to rack, like you said, a pretty large or substantial kind of setup. And I think it'd be good for us to call upon those who are bringing up, we can have the general topic like, hey, we're looking into AI scale out. We're looking for what that blueprint might look like, or we're looking for blueprints in the VRAN space, and bring those folks in who might have somewhat of a solidified solution You know, it almost seems like an advertising thing at that point, but at the same time, it's those people who have invested in solutions who are looking to kind of talk up what's possible. And I think those are the right folks that set up blueprints, or let's say research institutions that maybe have some solution they're trying to stand up.
Yeah, yeah. But if you go that way, it sort of also gives a bit credibility to it, right? You know,
Yeah.
we had this difficult problem, and here's how we solved it.
Yeah, exactly. It turns it back into a research type activity. You know, as we talk to enterprise folks, they're looking for more of a turnkey solution versus bespoke solutions. And right now, like the way we're talking about the blueprints, they're seemingly bespoke, trying to be kind of a commodity off the shelf type solution space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you just said is very similar to what Alad told us half a year ago. Yeah, we should try to move
Yeah.
into the turnkey space, right?
Well, yeah, like, you know, someone said today, like some of these folks don't have a team of engineers to curate their solution. Maybe they can they can provision a solution and deploy the solution. They have people for that, but not necessarily to kind of curate what you need out of a larger set of engineering resources.
Yes, absolutely.
So these turnkey solutions, it still comes under there for specifically for enterprises and their challenges, right? Or it will be kind of it can also be separate from that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of jaded, not jaded. My view of the world is I work at Red Hat and we sell into enterprises. So I view this as a primary market because it is the primary market for the people I work with. So I would say yes, but I'm willing to listen to counter positions.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, Simon. As a folk, you know, unless you're, let's say, have a major whale customer, which is like one of the top 7 CSPs who have a lot of engineers, they do not need the OPI. You know, the tier 2s and tier 3 kind of CSPs, you know, these aren't enterprises anymore, but they're getting a lot closer to enterprise. So those enterprise problems start creeping up versus the, you know, large scale CSPs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay. So I was just trying to capture and trying to bucketize certain things. Maybe it's too early. Maybe going ahead, if once we have the quorum, we should discuss whether TSC would like to consider the CFP mechanism for 2026, at least like a 1 or 2 kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah. But if you could do some background on the mechanism, so then if we have quorum next week, we can move forwards on that discussion, right?
Yeah. So I have done the CFP with multiple 2 to 3 projects actually. That has worked out very well. Some of them all over the world, we got like 30, 40 proposals around the world. And they were very, very interesting. And we funded 3, 4 and got a very good outcome for the community.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we do a CFP, we could offer different categories. You know, they could select if they want to do a academic type thing, or they're a system integrator, and then the levels of support we will provide them, right?
Yeah, I think when we discussed it in the thing, right, I think the idea was it cannot be the CFP, cannot be purely academic, like a publications and all those things. It should be fully hands-on kind of a outcome. Because it purely academic may not really help OPI. It may help the other community members, but for OPI to grow more of a hands-on outcome kind of a thing. I think in academia they call it as a contract or something. I forgot the word. They have a specific phrase for these kind of CFPs.
Okay.
Most of the other things are mostly the expectation is to publish a paper. after working for so many months, right? But we don't want that kind of CFP.
Yes. We want a different type of output.
Correct. Okay, let me work on this thing and get back. Okay, then that's all. See you all next month then. Bye-bye.
Okay.
I think the daylight saving kicks in from next week, right?
It already kicked in here, so I'm 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
I know you're at the normal time, but I'm 1 hour earlier.
Yeah, in the United States, it does kick in after this weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
Next week
So
for me,
we'll
1
go
hour
back.
late.
Yes.
All right, thanks everyone.
Okay.
Have a good day.
See everyone
Yeah.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.